Hey, Andrew.
Well, yes.
Why did Boba Fett work alone in Empire Strikes Back?
Why?
Because he hunts solo. Ha ha!
That was pretty good.
That was a good one. That was like just as good as like my Tauntaun.
No.
Yeah, mine's better, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine was gonna be Jabba ruled with fear, but Drew rules with dad jokes.
I was also going to do what is Boba Fett's favorite drink?
Boba tea.
Boba tea. That's everyone's done that.
Yeah, the other one's way better.
There's literally shirts of Boba tea that is in the shape of Boba Fett's helmet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another bombastic episode of the Empire Radio Podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And everyone, let's give a round of applause. Let's give a burn for Jeremiah for supplying us with that absolutely incredible podcast intro.
Yes.
That was good. That was good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, that was good.
You might be getting a lot more of that in the near future.
Yeah, strap yourselves in. Yeah, it's a weird turn of events for me.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to be here right now, but
I'm not supposed to. We were supposed to have an episode last night. I'm not supposed to be here, and I'm here today and next week.
Just one day next week. But Drew and I will be here twice next week.
Yeah, just one day. So just next Tuesday. Yeah, we had my wife's family had a thing come up, and I needed to go be somewhere. So the boys graciously decided to pivot last minute and be flexible, and so here we are. We're doing Boba this week, and the next week we are still on track to do the Ahsoka book, which is good anyways because I still need to reread it. So
from the start, you have to reread it.
Yeah,
or like to finish it, reread it.
No, I have to. It's at least been 3 years since I started the book.
Wow.
So
it's a pretty easy read.
You're gonna have a fun weekend.
No, I'm a pretty fast reader. Like it's not gonna be an issue. I'll be fine.
You already know how it ends, so you can just like.
I mean, yeah, I already know how it ends, but
add things.
I want to
remember this part? Like,
yeah, I want to be able to have the context of like actually knowing what's going on.
It's been like 6 months since I finished it too. So.
Yeah.
Maybe I should read like a summary or something.
I was gonna watch like a few videos on like a summary.
Do that.
But I want to be able to actually talk about it because this is like it's a big deal. Jeremiah doesn't read at all.
True. No, I know.
But I
He's
did just
completely illiterate.
Wait,
I'm joking. That was a joke, Jeremiah. It was a joke.
I just pre-ordered the third.
Pre-ordered the third one?
Yeah, because
you
can't get it at Target apparently, so you have to order it.
You can't get it at Target?
Remember the second book? I couldn't go to Target.
Oh, so that means I couldn't
get
it.
No. He couldn't get it. I got it at Target, but
yeah, both. But
Jeremiah's Target doesn't like him.
So it's actually funny that you say that because I got my days mixed up, and I had an alarm set yesterday morning at 9 a.m. to go look for the book.
Oh,
because I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, the new High Republic book's coming out! Like, I gotta set an alarm so I don't forget." And then it went off. I was like, "Oh, Micaiah, the book's out! Like, I need to make sure to go get it." And I was like, "Wait a second, doesn't it come out in January?" It's like, wait, it's still December. And then I realized I was a week off. But they announced a new High Republic book yesterday.
They did.
Yeah. They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? It was the last week of Bring Home the Bounty.
Oh.
No new Black Series lightsabers.
What is the book about? Do you know?
No, there's very little about it, but it's got a Jedi Master and a Padawan on the front of it.
Classic.
And it says in the description that they're still fighting the Nile.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Which could mean, it comes out in February. So,
oh dang,
I didn't know it was that soon.
Yeah.
But is this a continuation of these three, or
I don't
do we know that?
I didn't have a ton of time to look into it, but I do know that
Or maybe it's like from a different angle.
yeah.
That'd be kind
So
of cool.
we'll see.
But dang, 2 books and it's like a month apart.
Yeah, and
Dang,
it's like
I have
the
to read
first week of
Ahsoka.
February
I read
too.
Ahsoka December, read High Republic in January, and then in February I'm gonna have to read another book. Like, what is this?
Do we have a date that we're breaking down that book?
Sometime in February.
So no. Cool. All right.
Sweet.
I'm
Probably
excited.
post Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Speaking of Boba Fett,
That's why we're here, folks.
That
Chapter
is
1.
why we're here, everyone.
Yep.
You guys
Stranger in a
like
Strange
my
Land.
my Christmas Boba Fett stuff that I got?
Did everybody get you Boba Fett stuff for Christmas?
My wife did.
Hey, that's
It's
good.
from what's it, Champs. It's like because you know they have that jacket.
Isn't that Columbia?
I mean Columbia. I don't know why I said Champs. But yeah,
I was sitting here
the
waiting for you to
jacket,
flex on us because I saw the logo and then you were like Champs, and I was like, "Ah, you missed it. You totally missed the opportunity."
Columbia. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Did you
I
see
did not
those?
get the
Yeah,
jacket though because the jacket's like literally $500.
dude, their Empire Strikes Back one that they like, it was like a replica of the crew jacket.
Yeah, it
for
was
that.
dope.
It
'Cause
was
like
also
furry. It
yeah,
was like $500. Yeah,
it was also like $500. Yeah,
yeah. I like that one more than the Boba Fett one. I think the Boba Fett one, like, you would stand out so much. You'd be like a little so nerdy. Like
it's like, oh,
yeah,
that guy likes
that-
Boba Fett a lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
But
something you
it
can
felt
wear to.
cool.
Oh yeah.
But
Did you go to the store at the Mall of America?
I did, but my wife got these for me for Christmas, and I
Sweet.
didn't even know because this is like it's a really expensive shirt. Honestly, I would
Oh.
not have bought it. Like if
Wow.
I saw it, I wouldn't have bought it. But that's why Christmas is for, like to get things that you wouldn't have bought yourself.
That's fair.
Let's just say it's over $50 for a T-shirt. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Jeremiah's just like
$6 at Target, right?
$6 at Target that he's had since 1983, passed down from his dad.
That's not how that works. But
That's hilarious. All right. Book of Boba, episode 1. Sandman in a sandy place, right, Jeremiah?
that's close enough. That's
Yeah, it's close
pretty
enough.
much what it was.
Sandy boy in a sandy town.
Wait, what's the real title? Isn't it?
Stranger in a Strange Land. Chapter 1.
Tatooine is even stranger after this episode for me. I did not know that Mortal Kombat took place on
Yes, you
Tatooine.
did. Yes, you did.
I do now because Goro's cousin's there, but we'll talk about that later.
Ooh,
Yeah.
spoilers.
Huh?
Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, anybody listening to this right now, come on. If you didn't expect spoilers, I don't know why you're here. This is a deep dive.
True, but we didn't give the announcement.
That's
yet,
true.
so-
Spoilers, everyone. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Spoiler alert.
Amazing. All right. So, overall thoughts. Drew, let's go with you first. This is special. This is special for you.
Yeah, it's your boy.
It's your boy, Boba.
It's my boy. I thought it was amazing. The trailer for me was very underwhelming, and every version of that trailer was very underwhelming because they're literally the same trailer over and over again to splice with like one more scene or different angle. Like the trailer was not the greatest. I'm gonna straight up say that. But like this episode was amazing. Which, like, I don't want to break it down too much because we're about to do that, but like just the way it started, and then the Sarlacc pit scene literally almost brought tears to my eyes. Like I've been waiting since I was a little kid.
Oh, you
for
could
something
actually
like
see
that.
what was going on in that scene.
Yeah.
It was so
Why?
dark on my TV screen.
Oh,
I
I
had
was
to get
watching
up-
it
well,
on a gaming monitor.
I mean, like I watched it. It's probably like
Super early in the morning, and
no,
there's a
it's
glare.
probably like
Oh.
9:30. So the sun was up. So I had Micaiah pause it. I was like, all right, you got to pause this. And I went and dropped the blinds, and I still had to stand up and like cock my head at a certain
Oh,
angle to
dang,
see what was
TG.
happening.
Change your settings on your TV because
Well, at night it looks incredible.
Go watch it and come back.
No, I mean, I know
It
what's
was
going. I
pretty
know what
dope.
happened.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to end this episode so I can go watch it again before I go to sleep.
Wow.
While I feed my son, who's
Oh.
also sick right now.
Oof.
And I've had a total of 3 hours of sleep in the last 3 days. So if I'm a little loopy, you guys, I apologize.
Wow.
But life is rough.
Feeling more like Boba, huh?
Just a little bit. Yeah, I
Mm.
could use one of those air things from Stormtrooper. Give me some extra oxygen.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I loved it. I loved this episode. Like I said, like that scene almost made me cry, and like everything so far has blown my mind, and it felt like Mando. Like it literally felt like I was watching the Mandalorian show. Like it had those feels for me, and I really enjoyed it. And Jeremiah, go ahead, ruin my life. Go ahead, go ahead.
Do we want to do that this
Yep,
early?
yep, we're doing it.
Is that?
I actually kind of hated this episode.
What the?
So I have a list of 7 things that I absolutely hated about this episode. There were some really great
Dang.
things,
Drew, he made a list.
but these 7 things just I was not happy with this episode when I was done watching. I watched it twice,
What?
and
Why?
I just
Explain.
do you
Go
want
ahead,
to
7. Yes, go 7.
So first one, I hated the Sarlacc scene. It was
Okay.
just very underwhelming. Like he flamethrowered and climbed out. Like I thought it was gonna be more of a struggle of like him fighting against it inside. Like if there's gonna be
Burned it inside. Okay, next. Okay. Just keep going.
I mean, in the
Next.
EU, he used his rocket to blow it up, which was
that would
pretty
be
cool.
way cooler.
Yeah.
EU for life, apparently.
You heard it here first.
What?
You heard it here first. EU with Jeremiah confirmed.
I'm so sad right now. Keep going.
I don't know if you guys noticed this or realized this in this episode for number 2, but they used the Boston Dynamic dog robots in here.
Oh yeah, they did.
I hated that. That was the stupidest thing because it's not Star Wars. It's our real life. Like
yeah, but they dressed them up as like props.
It's stupid. It was
okay.
I hated that. It took me out of it. I was so annoyed by that. The mayor's representative. I was waiting for him to do like, here's all my rules for surviving a zombie apocalypse on. He reminded me of the guy from Zombieland. The guy that had all the rules, like double tap.
Main character. You talking about
Jesse Eisen?
Yeah. What?
What? I didn't get that at all.
It was basically that guy in Star Wars as a Twi'lek. Like I didn't like him at all.
I didn't get that feel at all. I do, Jeremiah. It did kind of remind me a little bit of the blue guy from Mandalorian a little bit. Like his voice didn't match his look for me. It kind of took me out of it a little bit, but I didn't like hate it, and it did not remind me of Zombieland at all.
Oh yeah.
Also,
it didn't remind me of Zombieland. It reminded me of the character in Zombieland.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
Number 4, I hated the parkour scene because it was just like, hey, we're gonna show you parkour. Like they showed parkour for the sake of showing parkour. It has nothing to do with Star Wars.
They were running.
Okay, but they were doing parkour tricks like it was any other movie or show today. Like,
well, my question is, what is the alternative? What is the alternative to getting over some of those obstacles?
Okay,
just run.
There's a difference between showing an escape scene or chase scene and showing parkour for the sake of parkour in the Star Wars universe.
It felt like a chase scene. It felt like ninjas were running.
It didn't feel like ninjas are running because ninjas don't do parkour; they do ninja stuff.
It felt like they were doing ninja stuff.
Ninjas do some parkour, Jeremiah.
There's parkour and then there's ninja stuff. There might be a little overlap, but
okay.
Ninjas escaping is different than a bunch of people from the United States who know how to parkour and they just hire these guys and put costumes on them.
Okay.
And they're probably European, first of all. They're probably not from America, but anyways, keep going.
I did not like the monster. The four-armed monster.
That's fair.
That's fair.
It did not look like a Star Wars monster because
it didn't.
Star Wars monsters don't look like sentient beings.
Hey, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I say? Do you know what I mean when I say Goro?
I would. Yeah, you probably should.
You said Mortal Kombat, and
Yeah,
there's a
Goro.
guy with 4
Yeah,
arms.
have you seen the original
No.
original movie? Oh,
No.
okay.
No.
All right.
No.
Did you
That's fine.
watch the new one?
And so
I've seen the new one.
I saw the new one. Yeah. It was
I
Yeah,
can give
Drew.
you 7 reasons for it now.
Yeah. Anyways,
but as like this is so off of the monster one, he should have fought the raiders that they came across in the desert.
Yeah,
He should have fought those guys
I agree.
and saved the kid that way rather than the monster. That would have been better for the story.
Or like a monster that we are like accustomed to.
I thought it was a baby crate dragon at first,
So did I.
I was thinking that at first, but then I was like,
or a dewback that was like burrowed in the sand or something.
That
I
would
don't
have
know.
been dope.
Yeah.
number 6 or not? Yeah, number 6.
For me, the monster 2 was a little bit too CGI for me. I didn't really enjoy that. Like
It was
kinda
very
seemed-
animatronic, too. There were some really animatronic.
There were some
scenes
good
in there.
spots, but then some of
Yeah.
it was like you could tell it was fake.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And it could have been the lighting, like we always say. The sand, the lighting, like
Yeah,
it's
they could have
bright
covered
out.
that up though.
True. I don't know.
Yeah.
Number 6. I
Oh,
didn't
God,
like.
We're only on 6.
There's 7. Okay.
I know,
Um,
but
for number 6, at the end when the Tuscan chief gives the water to Boba, I felt like it could have been a more of like offering him up, like he's kind of like more of a thank you. It just looked like it was like the cartoon show King of the Hill, and he's like, "Here, have a beer." That's what it felt like to me. Like he could have like bowed his head and like made some sort of gesture of thanks, like that was more ceremonial.
I think that was more him begrudgingly doing that.
I get that's what they were going for,
Yeah.
but like I just thought it was kind of lame. And then
Okay.
finally, kind of like as an overall thing of the episode, I don't have any sense of plot direction in this show so far. There's no story yet.
Well, kind of.
I kind of disagree.
We'll talk about, but I just don't think there's a story. He's just introduced himself to the leader of that cantina wannabe Canto Blight place.
Me and Will in the chat, shouts to Will. We were literally watching this, and the beginning was like he literally wrote in the chat, "Jeremiah's gonna love this."
He said that in the Discord too.
He said, what Jeremiah loves, like, don't tell,
right?
Like, watch it. Like that was like the whole beginning thing was like.
Don't get me
they
wrong.
didn't tell how they got
I
it.
liked. There's a lot of good things in this episode that I liked, but so many things in here I didn't like. It just made the episode like a 5 Sarlaccs out of 10 Sarlaccs.
Wow.
That is so aggressive. I feel like
Why are
you're
you
just
doing
doing
that?
that because I'm so happy. It's kind of sad.
Sorry, guys. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a rough episode tonight because I'm like, be one trashing at the whole thing. But Andrew, what are your overall thoughts?
So I'm in the middle between the two of you.
Right.
So if Drew thought it was amazing, Jeremiah didn't enjoy it. So Drew, you're at like what, like a 9 out of 10, probably.
Yeah, like everything Jeremiah said. I didn't agree with any of it. So yeah,
Jeremiah's at a 5, and you're at like a 9 out of 10.
I don't even know what Jeremiah said right there.
I'm at like an 8. I'm at like a 7.5 or an 8. I think it could have been better, but I think it could have been a lot worse. Because like this felt to me, first and foremost, this felt to me kind of like some of the Bad Batch episodes in season 7 of Clone Wars, where we were all like, "Oh yeah, it wasn't really our favorite," and then you put them together and you're like, "Okay, that was a sick arc," or like season 7 as a whole, it plays a huge part in it. I also think that because there are only 8 episodes, 7 episodes. Dang it, it's even worse.
You had one job.
I said dang it because that's even less, but
yeah.
Because they have so few episodes and the episodes aren't an hour plus long that we know of yet. they had to do this episode the way that they did. They had to. Like, you have, when it comes to Boba Fett's story, you have two ways of telling the story. You do it all at once, like they did, or most of it at once, a large chunk of it at once, of him getting out of the Sarlacc, or you do it over the course of the entire season. But you do it that way, most of the time, you would choose to go that direction if his backstory is some sort of a mystery that actually pertains to the direction of the plot. So every other instance that they have done that, there's been, like, this is a really bad example, but they did it in Arrow, like when they covered his time on the island. It's a bad example, but like his time on the island, like you didn't know everything right out of the gate, and there was some,
and they kept going back every
Right.
episode, like you would get a little clip.
Right. So it explained things, or it like develops the plot. But like I was gonna say, there was a Korean drama that I just watched called Mouse. That's freaking.
Oh, that's a good one.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Bro, it's the craziest thing I've ever watched.
Pretty good.
Yeah, because especially because of the twist, like three-quarters of the way.
Yeah.
So they did a good job of like going back and showing story in chunks that advanced the plot that was currently happening. But with this, they chose to do a massive chunk of it up front. We still don't know the whole story, but they did it now. And I think that they had to do it this way to get more time later free for actually advancing the plot.
Yeah.
And that's why I think the Sarlacc scene was so short. And another thing, and I saw someone, I don't know who it was. Their name was Purple. So it's down to like 2 or 3 people, but someone in the chat tonight touched on the fact that like the Sarlacc scene is one of those things that like people have envisioned for years. If they haven't read some of the expanded universe material that covers it, it's one of those things that like you envision and you think about for years and years and years and years, and then we get it and it's like a 45-second thing. When in reality, he just gets out of the Sarlacc. Like it's not that important of a scene. It's not on the same level as like Anakin being burnt to a crisp and turning to Darth Vader. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he has to get out of the Sarlacc.
And he does.
And he does. And they did it in a Boba Fett-ish way. Like
I love that scene.
Yeah. I mean, like I had no problems with it. I'm just trying to defend it more so.
I don't think we needed it longer.
Right.
Like, yeah, it was like Jeremiah's like it wasn't like as cool as he imagined it, or like he wanted it to like blow up more. But like at the end of the day, the Sarlacc pig swallowed a person that can shoot fire and burn the inside of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it worked, and I love that when they add like the trooper aspect where he grabbed the air so he can actually breathe. Like they explained that right away. They didn't like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I had no problems with it at all. I didn't want it longer. Like, why would I want him in the dark shooting sludge like goo thing? Like that's not fighting them back. Like, why? I don't need that any longer than it was.
And the other thing, I think the other rather underwhelming thing is how weak he is. I think that's another thing that will probably come up in different content creators and stuff like that, because like in the expanded universe, like Boba Fett is like, he's freaking built like a tank, and he also has a lot of plot armor. And so he does things that are like mega BA, but some of it isn't real, always realistic,
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one of the things that I reminded myself midway through the episode, and it made the rest of it way better.
Because I was like, tell yourself like this isn't the EU Boba Fett.
No. I had to tell myself that he's still injured.
Yeah, because of the Sarlacc pit.
Right, and because in the expanded universe, he goes through the entire healing process. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert for the War of the Bounty Hunter series. Under the watchful eye of Dengar, in a hole in like a hideout hole on Tatooine. Like,
Mm.
and he really is like 85 to 90% recovered by the time he's like back in the action. Like, I'm talking weeks and weeks of him just like lying there. And they do a really good job of like telling backstory and giving you the story of how he got there and all that stuff. But like with this, we have to remember that like, even though he did everything that he did in Mando, because this takes place after Mando.
Correct.
Um,
But what we got in Mando, most of it, he was in a chair. If you think about it. Besides that one fight scene, every other scene that we got of him,
right,
he
but
was
it was a
flying.
pretty big fight scene.
True.
Like
That's fair.
he did work in that fight
But
scene.
he also didn't leave. I'm calling it the slave one. He didn't leave the slave one during that final scene in episode 8.
That's true.
And I think one of the reasons behind that is that he's not 100%.
Yeah. And so you
Because
have
if he
to.
was, I feel like he would have been in there. They would have had someone else fly that ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So I think when you keep that in mind, a lot more of it makes sense. Like, why did he get beat by the female Tuscan Raider at night when he tries to run away from the camp? Like a normal Boba Fett would have won that fight, but he's like, dude, he's so effed up. Like, that was when we can talk about it when we go through that scene,
I
but
thought
like
the funniest scene is when he's tied to that pole and all those kid Tuscans starts whacking them all with a stick.
it's rough, man. It's rough.
it's
So
sad.
I would say like it was a slow burn, but I also think all in all this episode was necessary to set up the rest of the season. And Jeremiah, I disagree, and I think while there wasn't a huge amount of story, I think the two main elements were, one, his entire backstory up to this point, like getting really big chunks of where he was, and then two, he's beginning. You really get a sense that he's like trying to fill the vacuum of power on Tatooine, but do it in a completely different way, and that's like really evident in this episode because it doesn't go how he expects it to, you know. Um, and so I think that there was a lot of plot development, but it wasn't as obvious as you might expect it to be. Like, instead of it happening through events per se, the plot development happened through Boba as a character doing what he did. I know I know that's weird. It's probably hard to understand, but like, instead of it being like event driven, it was more driven based around the actions of his character.
Yeah,
If that
because
makes any
like
sense.
after watching this first episode, we're not leaving Tatooine this season for sure. We're never leaving.
Probably
Tatooine.
not.
And a lot of this has to do with my view of it is a lot of this has to do with where they were at that cantina club or whatever.
Yeah, it was a cantina.
Like cantina, like
Yeah.
the other people that are running this, like like he's in charge of it now, but he's not, and that's the biggest plot point I'm gonna guess with this show is like him trying to figure out Tatooine and pretty much trying to rule what Jabba was ruling, but in his own way, and that's like the whole point of the show is that.
Well, I think it's going to be more about being in conflict with the mayor.
Well, no, that's what I mean. The same thing.
Like, I think
Because the mayor, I feel like, has a lot to do with that club and what goes on in there.
He could.
Because if you like think of like the mayor representative and that girl that was at the club, they seem like I feel like they're supposed to look like each other for a reason.
Well, I will say that, and I'm going to go ahead and say this now because I probably won't be around when this comes up.
Oh,
R.I.P.
I would love your help with defending Jeremiah because if this is the way we're starting the first episode, I might need to call you in.
We'll see. I will say there's a pretty big chance we're going to see an expanded universe character come back into canon during this.
Ooh, you want to name drop now?
I actually need to look up her name. I forgot her name, but she's from the video game. Hold on. She's from the video game Masters of Terrascasi, which is like a super, super deep cut video game
Like
that
what game system is this?
PlayStation 1.
Ooh, that's a long time.
Oh no.
Let me see. She's actually on the cover of the game with Luke. Where it's like people are speculating at least that that's who it is. Arden Lynn. Female character. She's technically a Force user, Dark Jedi character ish, and she has a robotic arm. And she is a master of the fighting style Terrascasi.
So I recognize that name because one of the actresses that was confirmed to be in the show, people say she looks like that character you just mentioned.
Yep. Well, it was in the last trailer. The very last trailer, there's a girl that shows up on like a hover moped. And she has a robot arm, and she looks just like the character.
Oh, yeah. I don't watch every trailer that they've put out. So
there you go. You heard it here first. If it is Arden Lynn,
Andrew called it.
Well, I didn't technically call it first.
Yeah.
Well,
he's like,
you called it first on here, so that's all that matters.
But there's my little tidbit of EU knowledge for the day.
Well, should we start breaking this down so we can start to fight in Jeremiah? All right, let's get into
scene by scene.
Yeah, go. Take it away, Jeremiah.
We're at formerly Jabba's palace, now Boba's palace. And he's taking a nap in the Bacta tank, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's taking a nap. I think he's healing himself. But
no, he was sleeping, bro.
He was sleeping. He said he was sleeping.
Dreams. Yeah, it's true, but
I'm saying it's really quiet and calming in there. You'd probably doze off all the time too. So
true.
It's almost like a sensory deprivation tank.
Yeah, that's what I would.
Almost.
Yeah.
So I'd be out, dude.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I'd be done.
But we get flashbacks that are memories of his. We see him looking out the window on Camino, which
has never looked so good.
For real.
Camino has never looked so good.
Mm-hmm.
Looked pretty good in Bad Batch.
Yeah, but this was the best live.
This was the best live action.
Yeah,
I was so pumped when I first saw the water.
Same.
I thought we were gonna get a whole scene because I wrote Camino on my thing. I was like, okay, there's all this stuff is gonna happen on Camino flashback, and that's just him looking out a window. I was like, man, I wanted more. But then it
we
flashes.
Might get more.
We might. And then it flashes to newly created footage of a scene that we see in episode 2.
Yep.
When young Boba picks up
there's an extra
helmet.
There's an extra bit in there.
And there's because in the movie we see this one angle, I think, and in here there's 3 angles.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So
and we saw it like zoomed in like on the helmet.
That's one of the angles. Yeah.
So it was interesting that they did that. So the Geonosis arena never looked better.
I wonder.
I was looking for Boba's or Jango's head, and I didn't see it on the floor.
They wouldn't show that.
They did an extra wide shot where it would have definitely been.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Because I was looking too. I was like, Where is it? No.
Maybe the guy with the push broom already went by and.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's been sitting there for a while looking at the helmet.
I wonder if that was footage, if that was just extra footage that they remastered.
I think one of them could have been remastered.
Do you think the close-up shot was?
No. I think that's new.
That's new.
It looked new. The lighting looked different. Like it looked new.
I think the close-up.
Let me see. I want to see this. I've got
my monitor. I think on my monitor it looked
it's
new.
on my monitor.
I don't know about
big old flex
TV.
boy.
Because there's one scene where it's kind of like
how's that a flex?
There's one of the scenes they kind of purposely hide his face.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm watching it. I'm watching it right now. Hold on.
Just so I think it was a different.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I would say, Drew, the lighting isn't all that off, but it's almost at a different resolution, that one scene.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like wide, and you can tell it's remastered, and then that close up, you're like, whoa.
It looks different, and also
Yeah.
like if it would have been like from this show, or the original, I feel like we would have got an over shoulder view of like his head too, which we didn't. We got like a
Yeah.
first person view. So
Yep.
it did bring back those feels though, dude. It brought back those feels for me, anyways. When
For Attack on the
like
Clones. Attack on the
yeah,
Clones.
Attack on the
For
Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
Like I don't know, like that scene was always pretty cool, and sad and
You mean when
depressing.
Django got his head cut off?
Yeah, but like the scene of the
Can you
birth of
imagine
Boba
we're
Fett
all
though.
watching Attack of the Clones together and that he gets his head cut off and Drew just just flips
Well,
off his
like
couch.
for me, like you knew that was gonna be Boba Fett though. When he picked up the helmet, you knew that he was gonna
Oh yeah.
replace his dad. So for me, that scene always brought like that's Boba Fett's beginning of him being Boba Fett. Not just the name of the kid, like that's him stepping in his father's footsteps at that moment. That's what that was.
Yeah.
And so for them to show that in the show right away, I thought it was very cool, and it brought you back like this is the beginning of him, this is where he started, and then he fought the Starlight Pit, and now we're here. Like it literally tied in all of his arc in that one little bit, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah. Drew Jerica says that it is a possibility that the person who came through with a broom and swept Django's head away
Okay,
is
it was
Broomkid's
Broomkid's
grandfather. What do you have to say? What do you have to
Ooh.
say about that?
Ooh.
Do you think? Hold on. Do you think that if Broomkid's grandfather was confirmed to be a sweeper in the Geonosis arena, do you think you would like his character more?
I think it would have made Broomkid less impactful. Because then he's just a generation of janitors, and that's all he'll ever be.
No,
It would have made it more impactful if the whole
if he's the grandfather of Broomkid, that means he's like a grandmaster
broom
Sweeper.
a sweeper, a broomier, broom with whatever they're fancy like.
A
Yeah.
Vermeer. We're gonna go with that one, Jeremiah.
That sounds like a scratch Lord of the Rings character name. It's like, oh, we're gonna
Bromere?
call him Bromere. Nah, Boromir's better.
Boromir.
Let's go to
Yeah.
Boromir.
Let's stick with Boromir. Bromere is a little too hay.
But Drew, it would have made his character more impactful because if the goal of the Last Jedi was to
No,
like
it would've.
say
It would've.
everyone, you
It would have
want to
tied
be a
in the art.
Jedi.
It would have tied in all Star
He
Wars.
came from a lineage of janitors,
Yes.
and he's a super janitor now because he has the Force.
True. And you know what? At the end of the day, any version of that story is better than the version we got. So I'm down for that.
I have a feeling that like maybe grandfather Broom was like the last Jedi to arrive. Like he was late, and he's like he was about to run into the arena, and he saw all the crap going down. He's like, "Oh crap!
No,
There's a
he
broom."
was
He
late
takes out the
and
broom.
Sweet,
He
sweet.
Yeah, he was
Sweet.
late,
Oh,
and then he was
just-
like, "Oh crap! I guess I have to clean." You're like, "You're the last one. You
So
showed
he-
up late.
So
You
he
gotta
faked.
clean it up."
He faked it so he wouldn't get killed, and then
Oh, you
that's
could do
why he's
that.
force sensitive. And then
I thought you were going with he just showed up late, and so because of that, he had to clean up the mess afterwards.
no, he was the last Jedi, and so he's like, "Oh crap, I gotta fake not being a."
Now that would have made the Last
Oh.
Jedi better.
I was gonna say
A lot of
I
things.
see
would
what
have
I
made
see
the
what
last
you.
Jedi.
And his name was Grandmaster Bromere, the
Ooh.
master, the Grandmaster of the Broom Order.
That's a T-shirt right there.
Yeah, it is.
Jericho, you can go ahead and make it.
All right, but
anyways, next flashback.
Then that's when he flashes to the Sarlacc,
Slimy boy.
and so he.
I did not think we're gonna get this episode 1.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I'm just gonna
Oh,
put
I
this.
thought we were definitely gonna get right at the
Well,
beginning.
That poor
you're
guy
right,
though,
Jeremiah.
like,
Where did that trooper come from?
I don't know.
He's been in there for.
He has to have been because like he was dead, but his armor was still intact.
There's
to a certain
still
extent.
like holes where the acid went through, but like
Yeah,
he had to have been
Yeah.
there for years because
yeah.
like, but I feel like because between 4 and 6 is what 5 years or 4 years.
Yeah, give or take.
I feel like it would have been way more deteriorated.
Well, I mean,
It could have been like
Maybe
why
not.
they were there on Tatooine. Like why the troopers came to Tatooine to look for the. Like he could have. Why they're looking for R2 and 3.
That's what Jeremiah
3PO?
was saying.
Oh yeah. Oh,
But I'm just saying,
sorry.
like, if he's in there for 4 years, like, look pretty good still.
Well,
Well,
here's
remember
what.
what they said. Remember the line is though.
1,000
You'll
years.
be 1,000 years.
Yeah, and I will
digested.
say, even if it's like super thin, plasteel armor or flimsy, was it flimsy? It's not flimsoplast. Flimsoplast is like the
Flimsy.
paper. Is the paper?
Sounds like a Pokemon.
No.
Flimsoplast.
Yeah, they're really
I
running out of
choose
ideas.
you.
It's just a piece of paper. Yeah. It's not. It's not. Shoot.
It's
What's
acid. It's not. It's corrosion resistant.
It's more durable than skin. That's what I'm trying to get at. So like the person went inside the armor would probably die first,
Yeah,
if not from the
and we
smell.
kind of saw that because like there was green that was like it seemed like there's like acid going in.
And also there was an oxygen supply left.
True.
So,
Which I thought was really cool because that is the one thing I never even thought of, like how to breathe down there. Like that is not something I would have thought about.
yeah.
Like I don't know, I just thought like for them to tie that in like that, because when they say you'd be digested over 1,000 years, I just thought in my mind, Boba went down there, he fell down there, and he's sitting in a pool of like stomach acid, and he's just slowly melting over 1,000 years, and he eats whatever drops in there, and like
It's like that
just
shot of
trying to.
Aaron inside of a Titan
Yeah,
before
exactly. Yeah,
goes
before he
super
comes out, yeah,
super
he's just
Aaron.
sitting
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that's what I've always pictured. So like to think of like, oh yeah, they have to breathe and there's no good oxygen, and for him to like grab that and pull it out and put it in, like I thought that was amazing. I thought it was really cool. Sorry,
Yeah,
Jeremiah. but I thought it was
definitely a
cool.
testament to his resourcefulness. Also, Will says Boba was a hide and seek champion.
True.
That's true. So was his armor. Hey yo.
Mm.
All right. Please continue, Jeremiah.
So he crawls out, and then he passes out, and then the Jawas do their thing and steal his. I was like that their vehicle, whatever. What is it called? Rolled up.
Sandcrawler.
Sandcrawler.
Yeah.
I was like, they got pretty close to running him over. Like, what if that was the end of his story? Like, they just actually ran
End
him
of it.
over.
Burnt. Game
Dun,
over.
dun, 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 dun. The credits roll.
Oh yeah, like the memes, like
Yeah.
but
Did you like the attention to detail though? That the Jawas had yellow eyes because they weren't off-world
it's not
Jawas.
attention to detail. It's just
That is attention to detail
they
because
have two options and they know the plot of this. Like,
well, true, but I feel like you could mess that up easily. I don't know.
The one thing that
I
I
liked
didn't
it.
like was that when he was coming out of the sand and he looks up at the sun, like
it
So
looked like there was no glass or no.
well, it also didn't seem like I know that's not actually what he sees.
oh, it didn't look like a T.
Or, no, it didn't look like any sort of like heads up display or anything.
It
It
ran
just
out of
it,
power.
I mean, to be fair,
True.
like his armor
Well,
was probably off,
yeah, that's what Jeremiah said. It ran out of power. Like
But-
it could have just not been working.
but I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's. At first, I was mad and I was like, oh yeah, I guess it's fine.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought, like, man, how do you see out of this? But yeah, and those Jawas, they know how to knock a guy
Still,
out.
yeah,
I didn't think they were that strong till like.
Well,
I mean,
the power of
he's-
money
That is
and
true.
junk does a lot to a
true.
Jawa. That's
and
what
it
they
is
always say.
Bhaskar, which is very expensive.
Yeah.
So those are the same Jawas then that kind of tied in. I always was wondering like how, because from the Mandalorian when he was telling how he got the armor, what's the guy's name? Finn? No, not Finn.
Cobb Vanth.
Combat. How he was talking about how he got the armor. I was like, why did Boba Fett take off his armor? I was always confused. Like, why did he take it off? I never even thought about like, oh, he passed out and the Jawas took it off for him. Like, Yeah, I thought it was good. I liked it.
And then some Tuscan Raiders come by and capture him. And
Yep.
this version of the Tuscan Raiders looks way cool. I like their design. They're black, and then they're
They're
like
different.
different like adornments and stuff. I thought it's just a breath of fresh air.
Well, that's the way they're supposed to be. Like in especially in the novel Kenobi, you see a lot of individuality, or at least some individuality described in their wardrobe.
Also, I thought it was interesting, like that they weren't like traveling in a single file line.
Yeah, that's what I noticed
like
that
you
too.
talked about that, and I wonder if that's just because they're not like the same tribe.
I was thinking that, but then
as like
when they leave and they're riding
they're in a line.
they're in a line. So maybe when
they might spread out.
they weren't traveling in that moment. They were just walking up to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then when they're traveling,
yeah, Drew. He didn't say they walk up to him in single file lines to hide their numbers.
That's fair.
Plus, it was super windy, so like their tracks would have been covered.
Well, it was
That's
a
true.
sandstorm, literally.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
So he got
kidnapped,
dragged through the desert.
Okay, let me pause. Let me pause here.
Uh-oh.
Okay. This was very heart-wrenching to watch because I don't know if you guys remember a few months ago when I got like what felt like third-degree sunburns.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When I was tubing down the river and just got burnt to a freaking crisp.
I forgot. Yeah.
I have never been in so much pain in my entire life. Like that sucks. So he's already has really effed up skin from the acid from the sarlacc.
Mm-hmm.
I know it already hurts to move. I know his skin's already sensitive, like mega sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, sand. It's rough and it's coarse. It gets everywhere, and when it's blowing at you at high speeds, it hurts.
In your eyeballs.
Yeah, it hurts. Not to mention 2 suns. So like this dude got burned by acid. He's getting whipped all over the place with little tiny pieces of rock in like all over his already exposed sensitive skin, and he's getting the worst sunburn of his life.
Now, question: Do you think that acid treated like sunblock?
I think that's what happened because he had a jumpsuit on, so his entire body was covered. It was just his face and head that was exposed.
I mean, it definitely burned through somewhere of his jumpsuit.
Yeah, there was holes, but at the same time, it seemed like he could have been worse off. That's all I want to say. Like he looked dry, he looked dehydrated,
dude.
His skin was ashy, but at the same time, like I feel like he would have been like
his skin was white. It wasn't red, so it wasn't.
No,
burned.
yeah, but then again, he's actually
saved his life in a sense.
And I feel like he's also
his pain level would have been through the roof.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but they gave him that worm juice.
It was from a carrot. Come on.
Carrot. But yeah, maybe carrots is the best sunblock out there.
I was thinking about that. Like that juice literally took a guy who was peanut by Jawas. Like that's how weak he was that a Jawa could handle him, right? So he was that weak, and that one carrot juice made it so that he can walk across the desert. That thing is powerful, and I need that right now. Right now. I could use some.
It was just a 5-hour energy.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, it's a little Easter egg for you. It was just it was the extra strength one though.
Oh, the extra.
It was 6-hour energy.
It was 6-hour energy.
5.5 energy.
Yeah.
But also this scene though, Jeremiah, come on, it was amazing. The camera work, like when it switched to first person at one point where he's getting dragged and you can see the sun in the corner, like it was so well done.
Some of it was the lighting looked weird. It was too bright for me. Like during like sand blowing, I think of it more of as like cloudy.
They have
Like
two
dark.
sons.
True, and
Right,
I was gonna
but it
say
was
you
just
might want to check your TV
my TV's
setting.
fine. I
Well,
haven't
it
changed
looked
the
fine on
settings on
mine.
my.
It didn't look too bright for me.
It just didn't look like a sandstorm, like when it's like blowing on them, like
Well, have
crazy.
you ever like been there for a sandstorm on Tatooine?
Yes.
Oh, well,
Oh,
excuse me.
well,
Please,
you invited me to go to
please
Tatooine
forgive
with
me.
you. You should have
But I don't
invited
know.
me.
This some of the cinematography aspects
Okay.
of this
Also,
episode
not to mention
wasn't.
he was drugged. They
Yeah,
dragged him through
he
the
was
freaking
foggy.
rocky sand.
Yes.
What does that have to do
Anyways,
with cinematography?
sorry.
No, that has to do with how much pain he was in.
Yeah, he was in a lot of pain.
Which
Okay.
is why even after season 2 of The Mandalorian, he's still recovering.
Yeah. So, anyways, cinematography, Jeremiah, talk to me about it.
I just thought some of it throughout this episode just was kind of weird. Yes, I get it's super bright. It's a desert planet. It's not gonna look like dark and hazy and stuff like that. I get that, but it just kind of looked. Some of the scenes just looked very. Anyone going out there with the camera just filming without any changing any of the.
What? Jeremiah, you need to go watch this for a third time because
I
100%
I said
definitely
I didn't say the whole episode. I said some of the scenes.
Okay, I'm talking
Like-
about this scene right
like,
now.
Yes,
This was amazing.
it was okay.
Okay.
Dude. First of all, it's going to be bright no matter what because there's two suns,
I
not
just
one.
said that,
The
yeah.
chat literally said that.
I just said that, yeah.
Also, yes, no, dude, this scene I thought was amazing from the different angles when they switched to first person and he was getting dragged and like dude, I just the bantha like
Bantha
all
butt.
the hair was so intense and so well done.
I mean, to be fair, you can't hardly see any detail in that specific shot because he was also like super woozy.
But the best part of that scene, though, when he's being dragged, is when at first I was like, "Why is this?" But like, there's a bunch of lines, vertical lines, and I was like, "What is it? Why is there a bunch of vertical lines in the sand?" But I think it's just a hair from the bantha's dragging.
Yeah.
So that was a great attention. That was the best part of that whole scene.
Wow.
Lines in sand.
I 100% disagree with the whole cinematography. Like you could have gone, anybody could have gone out there, but
the most clear example of that is when it's the kid, the Tuscan Raider kid, Boba and the Rhodian, and like they're being walked and then like Boba like falls. Like that scene right there looks like someone went out there with their camera phone and just
their camera phone
or smartphone. Sorry,
dang.
But like it just
Jeremiah said they've got their iPhone 13 Pro Max cinematographer version.
I feel like
whatever.
some people could do better with an iPhone cinematographer.
Jeremiah, you're hating on
just
this a
looked
little
like,
bit too much.
It just looked like they're walking through there, and it was like very like the motions of Boba tripping and stuff. It just looked very high school theater.
Oh gosh!
Like I don't know. It was just I don't know. I'm sorry, guys.
Hold on, I'm going back to this scene right now. I literally am scrubbing to find it so that I can. I want a fresh perspective.
Towards the end, it's like the last 10 minutes, 7 minutes.
No, it's
I'm
not.
just in shock.
What are you talking about? It ends with that whole flash of him in the desert with the kid.
Yeah, but it's
like
not
the last 10 minutes. Because he goes into the back the tank after the fight, and then
you said it was the last 7 minutes, and I'm at 12 minutes out.
And you found it at 12?
Yeah. 12 minutes and 29 seconds away from the end of the episode.
Okay,
now
take away 3 minutes of credits.
No, it's
and
actually
you're at
4.
9. Oh, okay, now we're at 8. So I said 7, and it ends up being 8. So
I don't even know why I helped you, Jeremiah, because I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you mean about this shot.
It just looks like there's no cinematography at it. They didn't put a LUT over it. They didn't edit the coloring. I don't know.
I think you need a
well. To
new
be fair,
TV.
okay, but to be fair, Jeremiah. Okay, so when I do my guitar covers, I do them against a white wall. There is only if I don't wear something colorful, and I don't play like my pink guitar instead of like one of the more muted like black guitars. There's only so much you can pull out of that without making it like look fake. Like, sure, I can make the wall like tie-dye, but like it would be a nightmare and it wouldn't look good. So in this scene, I will say that predominantly, aside from the pink hues in the Rhodian skin, the yellow in his jumpsuit, and then like the muted red and the like dark gray black color in the Tuscan Raider, the rest of the shot is like dull white and tan. So there's not much to work with.
So you agree that it doesn't look that great?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
He's
You
saying
said
that they
it's
can't
like
do much with that.
yeah, you were
lighting.
like
That's
you
what he's
said
trying to
it
say.
looks like they didn't put a LUT on it or anything like that. Like
For as
what I'm
much money as Disney has, they can
gosh.
make it look good by changing something.
I
don't
mean,
know,
the Mastiff looks incredible in this episode. What?
There's one scene that looked really janky.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
I'm sorry.
Jeremiah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. I
Maybe
don't
Drew will
know.
fire me and it'll just be Drew from now on
Yeah.
on the
Stop.
podcast.
I'm just like like there's not even a ton of like tonal diversity in the sand dunes. Like there's not even it's just like all like midtones and highlights mostly. So like I don't
know. Well, we're only like literally 2 minutes
anyways,
into the episode
that's
of
fine.
what happened, so we should probably go.
And
That's
everyone's
fine.
mad.
Everyone's mad. I get it. But so he gets brought back to their camp, and we see all the cool variations. What?
Will Boba's dream in the back to tank. It looks like someone quote. It looks like someone shot it with their camera phone.
Did you notice that like when he's fading in or out of the dream state, it's like weird,
Fuzzy.
fuzzy?
like
Yeah, I
green
thought it was
glitchy things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a transition that they
I thought it was
decided to do.
I don't know. I'm
amazing.
just saying, like, they put more effort in that transition than they did some of these others.
Dude, I don't. No way. I thought.
But anyway, so they're back at the
Oh my
camp,
God.
and he gets tied up, and he's there, and then a bunch of the kids start whacking him with sticks, which is kind of funny, but not funny at the same time. And then it goes to the night, and somehow Rodian shows up, tied up, which I thought that Rodian looked great.
Yeah, I mean the Rhodian did look great.
He did a good job. They spent all their money on the Rodian's head, and then not.
Well, I mean it was practical.
There were scenes that it was, but there are other scenes I don't think it.
Yeah,
it was.
I think the scenes where he was talking, it wasn't, but there was a lot. Like for most of it, it was practical.
Practical effects,
which is why it looks so
hands
good.
were practical effects. That's why it looked so cool.
Those hands were really scary looking. I don't know. It's like
comes like little suction cups on your face.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, Jeremiah, I love you, brother, but come on, thank you. It's gonna be all of the. Feel free to type any comment below and say how much you love this episode.
Look, I am an amateur when it comes to cinematography and like video editing and stuff like that. But based on what little knowledge I have, I think this episode looked great.
Okay.
So that's all I'm gonna say.
But so then it goes to the night, and Boba tries to escape while the Mastiff is watching.
Yeah.
And like I thought it was really funny how, he wakes him up and he stops. And the dog is staring at him and he just keeps going, trying to like pull the ropes. I thought it was super funny. Like you would wait to like have him fall asleep again. And then
Nah, it's not Boba.
But like you gotta like move quick and be really confident that you can get out of that thing by the time it gets there. And so
it also reminded me a lot of my cat.
Yeah.
We've had interactions like that before.
Oh.
Especially when he plays.
It reminds me of like me trying to.
Yeah.
It reminds me of me trying to go to work in the morning without trying to wake up my son. Like do everything really quick and get out the door before he sees me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
And so the Mastiff tries to attack him, and he puts him in a headlock and knocks him out, which I thought he killed him at first, but no, he just put him to sleep. And then for whatever reason, the Rhodian like starts screaming and like, why?
because the Rodian didn't want to risk trying to get away.
He literally asked him too,
He
like,
could have just.
"You want me to cut your
nothing.
binds?" And
he could have said, "No, I'm good," and then Boba would have left.
Well, because the Rodian was only looking out for himself, and he thought it was a good opportunity to
get on their good side, because he knew that he would not be able to survive once he got. If he did escape, he didn't think he could survive.
Right.
Which, when they didn't escape and he went with them, he didn't survive. So
correct. I mean, he just wanted to get on their good side, and
yeah.
At the end of the day, when I want to get on someone's good side, and they like Star Wars, I know they like Star Wars, I'd consider getting them something from cufflinks.com.
Ooh.
You would, really?
Yeah, because
maybe Jeremiah should buy me something from cufflinks.com to get on my good side.
So really quickly, if you're wondering who cufflinks.com is, we have something prepared for you that tell everyone a little bit about them. And also, please note that there are only a few more days to take advantage of the discount that you're about to hear about. So listen closely. If you have some Christmas money, you want to burn that on something Star Wars related, or you forgot someone's present and you need to get someone something, or you just want to spend some money in general. So let's take a quick moment and listen to this. What's up, everyone? Andrew here with a word from the sponsor of today's episode, cufflinks.com. If you didn't know, cufflinks.com is the premium accessories marketplace, and they offer a wide range of products, including but not limited to ties, cufflinks, jewelry, and much more. The awesome thing about cufflinks.com is that they've partnered with popular brands like Star Wars to bring you exclusive, officially licensed products. Their products are designed in a way that's great looking and fun, which means you can support your favorite fandom and look good doing it. Want to snag something awesome for yourself or someone else? Try using the code EMPIRE20, that's with a capital E and no space at checkout, to receive 20% off your next order with no minimum purchase. Still not convinced? Well, cufflinks.com offers outstanding customer service, 1 to 5 day delivery anywhere in the United States, and free shipping on all orders over $100. Want to feel like 1,000,000 credits in your next outfit? Head on over to cufflinks.com.
Do it.
Do it. Jeremiah?
Oh, yeah, do it. Sorry. I was watching the scene on the thing.
But like Andrew said, though, for real, if you guys didn't get someone's present, or you're like, I have this Christmas money that my grandma gave me and I want to buy something cool for myself. I mean, right now I'm wearing the cufflinks necklace, if you guys are watching this video. And I love it. I wear it all the time now. I think it's dope. And Andrew's bracelet review, that bracelet looks so fire, and the way you take it off with like the
little
slide,
clasp. I like
the
that
class
a lot.
thing, that was so sick. So make sure, if you guys didn't go check out that review that Andrew did on our YouTube, but also go pick up some cool stuff from cufflinks.com.
Promo code ends on the 31st.
Yeah, so you have like, when this goes live, you have like a day.
Hopefully this will. If you're listening to this now, you might not have any time left, but you should be listening to all these episodes in the past 2 months anyway. So,
but either way, go support cufflinks.com and just say that we sent you, and maybe they'll still help you out.
Yeah, and they're always running like promo codes on their site anyway. So if you can't use ours, there's always going to be a promo code you can use to get discounts.
Just tell them we sent you.
Yep, they know us by name.
True.
All right. Well, we're still only like 5 minutes into the episode, and we're in like an hour. But
your dad loves the cufflinks I gave him. Dude, that's what's up. See, there you go. That's what's up.
So Boba escapes, but easily the Mastiff tackles him, and
you can call it a dog, Jeremiah. We know.
I know, but so then a group of the Tuscan Raiders show up, and they're like, I don't know, it was like 6 of them or something, and so they send out a warrior. She has a name. It's a warrior Tuscan in the credits. So, but it is a female Tuscan. Which, did we see the female Tuscans in Attack of the Clones?
We saw a few. Yeah,
we saw one of them with a baby on its back.
Oh, that's right. But
Remember the toy that we almost bought, Jeremiah?
oh yeah. But yeah, so this was I thought it was cool that um we see like a female Tuscan warrior go out there
Yeah.
to duel him, and it was just kind of because he had was the kids like
Stick.
wanna be is a gaffy stick? Is that what it's called?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it wasn't even a real one. It was just kind of like a stick with like a point on it that the kids got to play with.
Yeah.
But that's all
Or
he had.
beat up their capsulars with, I should say. The one thing
Cappies.
about this too, I did not feel bad about Anakin killing those kids after seeing them beat up Boba Fett. Just
Oh, come on.
personal opinion.
They're just having fun. Kids will be kids.
Yeah.
beating
we
slaves. It's fine.
We did some pretty bad stuff together when we were kids.
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
Remember that
I
one
just
time
pushed
that-
you off a cliff
Remember
I was
that
or
one?
a pile.
Yeah, you almost killed me on a snowbank. Also, remember when we put permanent marker on your brother Jess's face when he was
Yes.
sleeping? That was
Wow.
all over his face.
all over his face. Yep.
But yes, so Boba and this Tuscan Raider warrior fight, and Boba sucks, obviously, because he's injured
Literally.
and dehydrated and stuff. But she destroys him, and then he's tied up again, and he wakes up from this dream state because Fennec is like, "Hey, wake up, boss." And so when he gets out, he says the dreams have come back, which is interesting. Like if something's like why they stopped, why they came back, and it's interesting they call them dreams because yes, they're dreams, but then I was thinking like they're more memories than dreams, but it's just
I mean, but
semantics, I guess.
they happen while he's asleep.
I don't know. I'm just saying it was just an interesting.
Because
It's
if it was a
it's more of a
memory,
memory than it is a dream.
I disagree. Because if it was a memory, he would just think about
Everyone's up in arms tonight. I swear. Every time Jeremiah said something now, Drew.
Well, because it's not a memory, because it's a dream, and
But
he
it is a
literally
memory. It's a memory in the form of a dream.
Yes.
There you go. So it's first a memory in the media of a dream.
But it is interesting that he said that. There's got to be some context there that we might get later, because when he said the dreams are back, I wonder what that means. Does that mean like he's
maybe we'll get a flashback of him having dreams the first time. When he
That
first goes into
means
bed.
it's
It's like
Inception.
a dream within a dream within a dream.
Oh, what if Leonardo DiCaprio shows up? Oh,
then maybe you'll like it.
Maybe, but he didn't in this episode, so
don't worry, he still won't
like
get an Oscar. No, but
he's won an Oscar before.
Yep, it's about time.
But anyway, Fennec says that everyone's there to show their respects, and so all the people that he's now the crime lord over, all the leaders of these different syndicates or whatever, they're showing up and giving him, what do they call it? Tributes.
Correct.
So
Hunger Games.
Yep.
I thought it was really funny how like the first guy, they're like, "Did you catch any of that?" I think he said something about friendship. It's like, we need to get a protocol droid.
Yeah.
I thought it was a funny scene. That whole scene was funny. Just him like, he's like, kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing really right now. Like,
yeah.
He's just kind of like making it up as he goes. But then this is where that lame mayor shows up. And
Okay. Did anyone catch that the Trandoshan brought a young Wookiee pelt?
Yes.
Okay. That made me a little sad. I just wanted to state that. We can move on.
It was pretty intense. I
was like, maybe it was.
I didn't even mention it in the live stream because I didn't want to mention it because it was.
What's from the holidays?
Oh no, we're not doing that. Nope.
Lumpy.
No, why, Andrew?
That's
Lumpy.
No.
Lumpy would be older by now. He'd be a little bit bigger than that.
And let's be real, it wasn't lumpy enough.
This is only like this would have been only like what 5 years after.
That's a long time.
Have you
Well-
studied the growth cycles of adolescent Wookiees, Jeremiah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well
no,
done.
you haven't. Well, it definitely they grow faster in 5 years. In 5 years. Also, Lumpy, that pelt was a little thin. Just being real.
It was a thin pelt, yeah.
Lumpy's a little
A
thin.
little lumpy.
He's a little
Stop.
lumpy.
Boo.
He
All
has
right,
some
anyway-
lumps here and there. That's
Anyway,
all.
the mayor's name is Mock Shies, I think it's pronounced.
Bless you.
Thank you. Does that name mean anything in the EU?
Not that I
Mock.
know of.
MOK and then SHAIZ, Shies. And I didn't. He was super annoying, and I get that's his character. I get it. I just thought he was in Zombieland, Jesse Eisenberg.
So interesting.
It was
I
a
would not-
completely different personality.
Yeah.
Like
But his
this
cadence
major
and-
domo, this Twi'lek major domo guy was like way more confident than Jesse Eisenberg was.
Okay, but there's
True.
still a lot of the same like cadence and like.
It's just
start-
how his
like-
acting was. Like
Okay, like obviously.
I'm just
Obviously, something reminded me of him.
True.
Of it. So obviously, there's something similar.
but
Go watch
it's weird that
Zombieland. It's a great movie.
It is really
yeah, but it's weird that you're
Both of them
complaining
are.
about that because it yeah, well, true.
But
Zombieland 2 is pretty good.
there was definitely tension here because the mayor did not show up when they were said
He
they
was
would.
supposed to.
And then Boba was mad that they didn't bring a tribute. And then the mayor says, "Okay, now you gotta give me a tribute." And so this is where the conflict. This is why I think the main story is going to be revolving around the mayor
Mhm.
and Boba. But yeah, so he's the mayor of Mos Espa.
correct.
Is that's the capital of Tatooine?
Yes.
Okay, and so after this, Fennec. Oh no, sorry, I'm skipping. After the mayor leaves, 2 Grimorian guards are brought in,
Which I thought was so cool.
I thought that was cool. This was a great scene, and
Thank you.
the droid was it D8D? Is that the droid's name?
I don't know. He was the same droid as
Yeah,
the one that was pulling the levers in Jabba's palace before.
Mhm.
yeah. And he's like, "We have to show your power. You have these guys killed, blah blah blah, because they, whatever." And he's like, "Well, were you faithful to Jabba and to Bib?" And they're both nodded yes. And he's like, "If I spare your lives, will you be faithful to me?" And they're like, "Yes." So hired
Well,
the
they
Gamorrean
didn't
guards.
say yes. They just kneeled right away.
That means yes.
Well, yes, but it was not. It was more intense than that.
Okay.
Also, like, because they were talking about how they were captured because they weren't. They were gonna. They were trying to kill Boba essentially. Like that's what they were going to do. Like they were.
That's their job.
Yeah, exactly.
So
like,
they're fighting to save their boss. Like,
Yeah.
are you gonna? I
yeah,
would
that's
want-
what I'm saying. It's a good thing. Like that's how loyal. Like because they are loyal to Boba now. You know that they're gonna be just as like intense about it. Which it was interesting that Fennec was like hesitant.
Yeah, Fennec was weird this whole episode. Like, she's like scared the whole time and like wants to kill everybody.
But it seems like she's overwhelmed. It seems like she doesn't like not overwhelmed in like she's not confident in herself and what they're doing. Like more overwhelmed like she wants Boba to do it the way Jabba did it, and Boba doesn't want to, and it kind of stresses her out because Jabba probably would have killed those guards, you know.
Well,
they
I think
weren't.
I just think she really wants Jabba to succeed, and she knows what
Boba.
that's going to take.
Yeah.
And she's trying to get him to do things that will make that job easier, but he wants to do things obviously a different way.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
All right. So after they get the Gamorrean guards, they go to Mos Espa and make their way to the Katina there. And so on their way to Katina, we see those Boston Dynamic robot dogs, which I hated. Like it was so annoying. After
I totally don't get that, but
Okay,
I
so,
respect it. But I respect it.
Did you watch the
Corridor Crew.
Corridor Crew from a couple weeks ago
Here
when
we go.
Adam Savage explains the difference between Star Trek ships and Star Wars ships?
Yeah, I did watch that.
The same principle applies there. Like, the look of Star Wars droids is way different than robots and droids in other universes, like cinematic universes, story universes. So, like, they didn't match anything we've ever seen in Star Wars. The way they moved,
But that doesn't mean they couldn't exist in that universe.
right? But you can't just make up something and say, "Oh, it could be there." Like, it doesn't make sense. Anything could be there. It could be like.
I mean, in Jeremiah's respect, I do kind of understand that, because if they showed a donkey or a horse in the scene, I would be pissed off. So
It's just we're used to
it's
droids.
Jeremiah's version of a donkey to me. So okay, I'll let you have this one. I'll let you have this one.
Droids, we're used to droids walking and acting a certain way in Star Wars, and they did not act or look like that. So
it's like a little Easter egg kind of thing.
So it's just something like, why did they put those in there? Like, why would they bring those specific real life robots into Star Wars?
I mean, physical props.
Add things to
But why those specifically? Like, I just didn't get it.
I don't
like
know.
They made it a purpose. It was almost like a product placement, but like
maybe it was.
But
Disney
it wasn't.
Had to pay bills somehow.
I don't think they're that hard to pay the bills.
Sony took a lot of their money this weekend, so maybe they are.
I think they still got. I think Disney got a lot of money too from that.
Yeah,
but but anyway, so they go into the cantina, and it's booming. It's like halfway between the Mos Eisley Katina and Canto Bight. It's like a mix of the both. It's like some bougie, fancy stuff, but it's also kind of run down a little bit. It's not the most fancy, but it's a mix of both. And I thought it was a cool place. It look.
Definitely seemed more fancy than the Mos Eisley.
Well, I mean, Mos Espa is like entirely more fancy and way more established too, so that doesn't surprise me.
But I love the song.
Yeah,
the rendition of the music was so good.
The music was amazing. Yeah, the protocol or the astromechs looked great. I love the color schemes that they used for those. Did you catch the card shark droid, Drew?
Yes.
Was the same from Star Tours?
Yes.
The pilot? Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Considering even last week we were talking about how Star Tours doesn't really feel as much like Star Wars.
Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that this where's the shot? I don't know if that was actually Max Rebo. It could have been Max Rebo.
If they're gonna put him playing the instrument in the Katina, it's definitely the same guy.
Yeah, I mean it could be. I do love the astromech on the electric drums. That was sick. Yeah. And then I loved. I'm trying to find it. This is okay. So the Bith looked like he was playing like a headless electric sitar. Like that's not a real instrument, but I'm also pretty sure that they like used that as the foundation for that prop. Because it looks like a weird cross between like the fretboard of a sitar, but it also has. Oh man, I need to look this up later and see if there's actually such a thing. I thought it was really cool.
All right.
Yeah.
But so Boba goes there to meet with Garsa Fwip.
Oh yeah.
FWIP. Fwip.
Yep. Fwip.
So she's the leader of whatever business is going on here.
There's a lot of business going on there.
It's probably not a lot of legal business. But
Nope.
definitely money making business, and Jabba believes that he is overseeing that what's going on there. So this is probably just where they launder the money that the crime syndicates make, or something like that.
Probably.
And she calls it the Sanctuary, which is, I don't know if that's just the name of that katina, or if it's like what the crime lords refer to it as. But there's definitely a slight little tension. Like she's kind of weary of him, and she's just kind of like going along with what's going on. But they bring him his helmet full of money, and they're all right. It's good. And so they leave, and so I'm kind of like, I had to go back and watch this the second time. But right when they leave, the Gamorrean guards are walking with them.
Yep.
And then they turn the corner and they're gone. And so I thought it was weird that they disappeared and then they came back.
I wonder if Boba thought something was going to happen, and so he kept him in reserve.
I don't know, but it was just weird that they didn't stay with them when they left the thing, because they were walking with them after they left. And then 10 seconds later, they're not there and they're ambushed.
Yeah.
So I was wondering like where they went. I know it was for a cool entrance. I get it, but so these.
Did anyone else recognize Boba's new look on his jetpack?
No.
No, I didn't catch that. But that was the scene where we get the Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect line.
I like that it was in this. Yeah, it is kind of weird, Jeremiah, that they walked out together and then all of a sudden his guards disappeared. Like, where the heck did they go? But
unless maybe
they saw food. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
They just saw food in the corner. Like, oh, hold up.
Yep,
I'll catch up.
That's exactly what it is.
At the end of the day, they're pigs. So
hey,
hey,
that was uncalled for.
Was that aliens shaming?
Empire Radio does not stand for that kind of language.
Yeah, we're not doing that here.
But yeah, so as they're walking, these Dunder Mifflin employees come out of nowhere and do parkour stuff around them, and then
stop.
And then they.
Gosh, Jeremiah. Okay, hold on. Okay, I will say one thing.
Yes.
That's not technically in Jeremiah's defense, but it's also not entirely what Drew probably wants me to say. All I'm saying is, why did Boba not use his jetpack
to fly?
He didn't have his helmet on, so he didn't have his navigation.
Yeah, but he still could have used just like a quick boost into the air.
Yeah, but
and do we know he needs that?
I think every time we've seen Mandalorians use their jetpack, they're having a helmet. So
yeah,
maybe.
Well,
maybe it's like a safety
feature.
And
I 100% appreciate that Jeremiah defended that. Thank you,
All
Jeremiah.
I'm saying is, like, I'm sitting here going,
no, yeah, like
he has so many.
Why didn't he just blow them? Well, I guess. Okay, we know why he didn't blow it up, because he did try and it backfired.
He should have just shot their feet.
Well, their shields were from the ground up.
Not entirely.
Yeah, but at the angle, he would have to like get down low to do it. And it was just
okay. All I'm saying is, Modern Warfare 2, right shield. What do?
I've never.
You slide and cut their angles.
Well, you could use your throwing knife, but
yeah.
Or if you have commando, you can just freakishly jump 13 feet.
But also, first of all, the office parkour is a lot worse than this. Let's just be real. Two, Finnick is doing it too. I don't understand. You hate when Finnick does it?
I hate that whole
dude
parkour chase scene.
It kind of reminds me of Aladdin. Like,
well, I thought Assassin's Creed right away.
Oh my gosh, y'all!
Yeah, I can see that.
Just the way she climbed up the wall was very
but
Assassin's Creed.
But guess what you just said, Jeremiah? Assassin.
Yeah, she
Not
isn't a master
parkour.
assassin.
She is an assassin.
Okay, she's not
They
part
are
of that.
assassins. They're trying to
She
kill.
doesn't have a wrist blade thing, and she doesn't like do leaps of faith
That
off
you know
buildings.
of.
That we know of, and she does leap off this building.
That is true. Maybe she did jump into
See?
a hay basket, a hay whatever.
See, I'm just saying you're kind of defending yourself by saying they look like
I'm just saying
Assassin's
I hated
Creed.
it because it was we want to put a parkour scene in. That's what that is.
I don't see that
Because
I'm
of the
sorry.
huge wide shots of them doing it.
It's just their angle.
Like, if it's
How
just
else
if
are
it's
you gonna shoot that? If there's
Yeah.
parkour,
because
it's
every
like-
other movie it's close up and like that, and it's you don't see the parkour. You just see people running on top of buildings.
yeah,
This
there's no fun in that.
That's just stupid. Just to have these huge wide shots just so you can show parkour, I thought was stupid.
Okay.
Well,
Do you agree with me that they wanted to show parkour
no,
as
I
for the
agree
sake of parkour?
Not for the sake of
No,
parkour, but
I
I'm
don't think
sure
it's-
there was a decision made that was like, oh, this is a good opportunity to like have an interesting fight scene and also show off Finnick's abilities.
Yeah. For me, it just shows two people that are very skilled and they're trying to run away and they are running away on top of buildings and
Yeah.
Finnick is catching up to them and
I mean, to be fair, the assassins came from on top of the buildings too. So of
correct.
course they're going to go back the way that they came.
And hashtag parkour. But yeah. I have no problem with that at all. And I didn't think
Hopefully, it
The
was just
Office.
a one and done thing.
it probably is.
It better be. If this is like an every episode thing, I'm gonna be really
Every episode. Okay, if it's in every episode, I will be on your side.
Yeah, if it's in every if it's in every episode, I'm out.
Yeah, but I don't think it's in every episode. And also, Finnick is an assassin, and it looks like Assassin's Creed. So
Master
there
She
you
has
assassin.
and she has a job to do, huh? John
Mhm.
Mayer, anyone?
Mm.
It's a
I
deep
don't-
cut.
I don't.
That's fine.
Sorry.
Okay.
But I did like that Boba referred to her as a master assassin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this weird that like they're all using like formal titles like?
Well,
Lord
I mean,
Fett
she
and-
successfully trained an assassin Padawan through the trials, so that's why she's a master assassin.
How do you know that?
I was just trying to make a joke.
Oh, I thought you were serious. I was like,
Nope.
I don't remember this book. But at the same time, Jeremiah, they're using titles because that's how Jabba did it, and that's how they do
I
it.
get it.
So
I'm just saying it's just interesting.
I don't think
Like,
it's interesting.
I don't
It makes
refer to you
sense.
as Lord Drew or Emperor
Yeah, but
Drew here.
I'm not. I'm
You
not
are an
Lord.
emperor.
Yeah,
I'm
but
an
he was
emperor.
talking to someone externally.
Yeah.
I know.
So like,
I'm just saying it's just weird to hear titles like this. That's all I'm saying.
oh, well, I mean, like if you're like, what is your job title at your company?
I don't have a title. I'm just,
Master Butcher?
I'm just an employee.
Well,
Employee
my
Jeremiah.
title is head roaster, and when people outside of my company ask what's like, oh, here, this is Andrew, our head roaster. That's what they call me.
Saying Andrew, our head roaster, is different than introducing you as head roaster Andrew. Or it's just like it's different.
But like Jabba the Hutt, like I'm just saying, like it didn't bother me because they're trying to portray how they're communicated.
I get
So I
it.
don't.
I'm
but,
just saying it's weird to hear it this way. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying it's just weird hearing Lord Fett when for the past 40 years it's been Boba Fett.
Well, because it has been.
He
hasn't been a Lord until right now. We haven't heard it because
All
he
right,
hasn't been.
We're moving on.
we're on the we're on the parkour scene, y'all.
How do you feel about Boba blowing up that guy crawling?
Oh,
up
I
the
thought it
wall?
was great.
It was awesome.
That was freaking great.
That was
his pair back for falling on the ground.
That was great.
Yeah, it's actually that scene reminded me a lot of when Wesley Andrews hits my mouth for the first time, and my taste buds explode.
It blows you away.
And you
Yeah.
die.
Yeah, so let's take a quick break and further discuss Wesley Andrews in the form of a quick ad. Because things have been getting intense.
Yep.
like camping. So let's just take a break. Let's listen to an ad.
Or intense like Wesley Andrews coffee.
That's true. So let's just listen to it. Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code Empire Radio, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it. Do it.
Do it.
All right, Jeremiah, let's keep going.
So Fennec, she catches up to two of them.
Yep.
Knows that she can't capture two, so she just kicks one guy off the building and captures one. And so after that, it shows Boba getting picked up by the Gamorrean guards, and it's like, get me back to the back to tank. And so,
well, it's actually not. He didn't say anything. They just start putting him in there.
No, he said something. Drew.
Yeah, he said, "Get me into a tank."
Yeah, he says that
when they're picking him up off the ground out in the thing.
Before she caught him.
Huh?
Before she caught the.
Maybe whatever.
Yeah, I mean he definitely says something.
Yeah, and so they bring him up to the palace and throw him in there, and he didn't have time to get all his gear off. He got most of it off, but I think he still had his wrist things on.
Yeah, he had a few things on there.
He had his wrists and his knees, so I don't know if they're gonna shoot.
Oh, he'll clean him out. He'll 100% clean him out.
Yep. And so then he takes another nap and goes into dreamland again. And so
I think it's funny that they're still using like wipe transitions. Like
it's just Star Wars.
Right, yeah, it is.
Thing.
So it's funny. It's funny that that's the case because I got this huge creator bundle from a website for Final Cut, and there is an entire transition pack that's called Classic Sci-Fi Transitions. And you think, oh, it's going to be like from different movies. No, they're all Star Wars wipes.
But aren't Star Wars wipes just all basic?
They are, but they've become iconic because of the different uses that George used them for.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I have an entire transition set in Final Cut right now that's dedicated to these types of wipes.
It's funny that because they have to say sci-fi, but they know
it's really Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
they can't legally say it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
But yes, so it goes back to Boba tied up again, and the Tuscan kid shows up again. Now, I forgot to mention from earlier that when he tries to escape the first time, the kid tries to stop him, and Boba knocks him down and is about to hit.
Could have hit him,
but
he didn't.
the kid, tries to block, just like, don't hurt me, and he shows mercy. And so then here the kid. Now, why do you think this kid was sent on? Like, what was the purpose of this? Like, obviously they went to go get those water pod things, but like
water gourds.
Do you think that, like,
I think he was supposed to go get them, and he's like, "I'm gonna take these two slaves and make them help me get them."
Oh, you think he took them without consent?
Maybe not without, but he was definitely, this was his daily chore, and he had people help him.
Right.
Also, does it look like the other guy is like a pilot?
Yeah, he has
Anyone
a
get
flight
that?
suit on.
Yeah, he has a flight suit on. I thought that was really interesting. Because who would he be flying for?
You can fly if you don't need to fly for someone if you have your suit on.
I know, but I mean, he could be like a rebel.
Those are,
Like
but they would be orange.
Yeah.
Orange
unless
jumpsuit.
true. It just kind of
Unless
like
it gets bleached by the sun and it turns
ooh.
yellow.
I just think it was his outfit.
Yeah.
But so they're just trekking through the desert, and while they're going through the desert, they see some smoke over a hill, and they go and creep up and look, and some raiders are attacking a homestead. And I believe these are the same raiders that Cobb Vanth fights off to become the marshal of. I forget the name
Yes,
of the town.
I
His town.
thought that was Cod
Cobb Vanth.
Vance. I thought it was him at first. I was like, what the heck?
No, but
No, I think they are the same Raiders though. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. So
Well, and I want to look at because they do graffiti on the wall.
the Assassin's Creed logo, yeah.
Okay. The two
It's definitely not,
J's
but okay.
and I was just wonder.
It stands for
I
Jabba
wonder,
Jabba
Yep. I
or
wonder
Jabba Juice,
if
Jabba Juice,
Jamba Juice.
whatever the droid says in Attack the Clones. Java Juice or whatever she says in Dex's Diner. Drew, your favorite scene in the entire movie.
I'm trying to think of what it is. Anyways, I want to know if that's the same logo. Like if they put that in that episode.
Oh, for
All right.
Jabba Jabba,
Okay.
or
yes.
just joking. We didn't actually steal anything. Pranked ya, JJ.
Gotcha. JJ.
I could go on like this for hours, y'all. I'm tired, so please continue.
All right. So I'm assuming they killed the guy and they just dump his water. Like, I can understand stealing the water, like, but why would you dump the water when obviously you're on a desert planet and you need water? But
That's why.
that's why. But so then they continue on, and the kid has the Rodian and Boba dig in the sand for little water gourd things.
A water gourd.
And so while they are doing this,
Goro attacks.
this stupid centaur.
He is Goro to me, and he will always be Goro to me.
All right, but I did not like this creature's design at all, as mentioned earlier. It just didn't look like a Star Wars monster.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Andrew, do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
He just looked too sentient in order to be, like, for it to be a monster. Because when I think of Star Wars monsters, it's always like unthinking creatures. I don't know how to.
I mean,
what's the opposite of a sentient being?
dumb.
A dumb being.
Well, that's not actually
No.
the case.
Whatever the opposite of a sentient being is.
Well, they're all sentient. I think what you're looking for is more intelligent and less intelligent.
But but in Star Wars, a sentient being is those who are able to communicate and think and have civilizations. Whereas if you're not sentient, you're just an animal.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of living.
This is an animal. It's living in dirt.
Right, and I'm saying he
just looks like
he looks like he's sentient. Like he could definitely be force sensitive and be like recruited into Jedi Order and stuff like that. And honestly, it looked like his face design looked like an 80s monster movie face.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I guess we're doing this. Now, I enjoyed the scene. Apart from that, like, I thought it was super cool when Boba Fett climbs up on top of him and strangles
like Princess
him.
Leia.
Mm-hmm.
I did not make that connection, but
yes.
Nice little Easter egg, whether it was intentional or not.
strangling someone with a chain is very.
You know it is.
True.
It would have been
He's
better if
wearing
he.
a little bit more clothes.
Yeah,
but-
he was wearing too many clothes in order to be a true like. Now, if he for some reason was wearing a bikini during that scene, then we knew it was
or
intentional.
got cut in half. Got cut in the back, like
showed his midriff.
I hate where this is going.
It's the only way I can make this episode fun for me is if I mention this. So,
but he kills the monster and he's like stands with like the suns behind him. Like I thought it was really cool, and how
Yeah.
the kid was just like watching in amazement.
Yeah.
And then how they returned back to town doing the Tuscan yell, and the kid has the head.
Yeah.
And that kid totally took credit, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did.
no, what? No.
Yeah.
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 The whole village,
It looks like he
patting
took
him on
credit.
the back, like cheering
Yeah.
for him, like
Yeah.
my kid, he defeated
See,
the.
I didn't take that at all because if that was the case, why was Boba not in chains?
Because it was all broke.
Yeah.
No.
Big old brokey boy.
No, I think he was like, hey, he saved my life. We killed one of these things because they're hard to kill. It's a trophy. He saved my life. And
But you do know
the
that the
chief is
the
like,
chain got ripped off of his ankle when
sure, but
the
I'm
big
just
boy
saying.
yeeted him with his
Also,
fist.
the chief gave him water.
Okay.
The chief wouldn't have
Well,
gave
because
him
the
water.
chief knows.
The chief is smart. Like he's like,
chief is
I know
smart,
my
yeah.
kid didn't destroy that monster by himself. Like you did something.
See, I didn't see that at all.
But
I took it
the
as
way
in,
the way the village surrounds the kid and like celebrates with the kid was very like, and like the kid like is like mimicking like with the chain, like he like brought it up to like the
Yeah.
his own,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like I strangled him,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and like the chief is like
interesting, because now that I'm watching it back, I kind of see what you guys are saying. But when I first watched it, that wasn't my impression at all. But now that I kind of get it, because it seemed like Boba was kind of sad. Like it seemed like when he was watching the village surround the kid, Boba was like, like I'm not getting any credit, and the chief gave him water. So yeah, I
So,
guess I could see
now
that.
now this is gonna be the best part of I like earlier I said there's no plot development in this really, like it lacked the plot of like direction of where it's going.
Uh-huh.
But the end scene with one with when Boba like spares the kid's life when he's trying to escape, and then here when the chief offers him drink, I felt like this is what caused Boba to come to the conclusion that I want to rule with respect, because see what happens
I can see it.
when you do things with respect, like
Yeah, but there wasn't any plot development in this episode, Jeremiah.
Yeah, there isn't.
right. I'm saying, but this is giving an explanation of why he adopted this new philosophy of leadership, and I think it's because of when you treat someone with respect, they treat you back with respect. Just like he saved the kid's life from the monster, the chief realized that, and the chief offered respect, and that was better than having conflict or trying to like rule over. And so I think moving forward, I think with the flashbacks, it's Boba's gonna have maybe not like a friendship with the Tuscans, but we're
Well,
not
he becomes part of their tribe, and even if it's through extension, because he has his own gaffy stick in the Mandalorian, and
right,
like
but
you don't just get one of those.
Well,
And his outfit's completely different. It's not like he kills one of them.
But we don't know what happened, because he could have killed one and just took the stick. Like he didn't.
No, but
we don't know if he got one or if he stole one.
Okay, he could have, but so far we can see that that is not his intention, like you just said.
I think he's given one.
I think he's given one, and he's gonna help them.
Yeah,
and that's what's gonna take him 3 years or 5 years to get his armor back. Because that was like my other thing about it, right? Is that like he loses his armor, but why does it take him 5 years to find his armor when it's on Tatooine?
He knew. That's one of the things we didn't understand last season.
Because he also knew who had the armor.
Right.
So, but if he's like deep in the Sand People's like culture and he's like with them and he's surviving with them and he does things with them, then it would make sense why it took him so long to go back to becoming Boba Fett. So
Yeah.
Also, I think it's kind of. I want to know what happens at the end of season 2, The Mandalorian, because those two characters were not in that situation when we last saw them.
Yeah.
Besides that, and so I just think it's really interesting because something's about.
We'll get more Boba Fett.
I think they just left that ship and went straight to Tatooine.
Back to the good old Casa.
Yeah.
Jabba Casa.
Yeah, I think they leave straight from there, but I want to see that.
You just want to see them get on the Slave One, go to hyperspace, and exit hyperspace, land.
No, I just want to see that
to-
conflict now that Mando is the ruler of Mandalore. And
Well, we'll get that later.
Yeah, we'll get
I know. I just think it's interesting that we got this show before season 3. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, it's just interesting.
This is a side story. It
Yeah.
happen wherever.
I know, but like as a casual fan, like let's say if someone's just watching The Mandalorian, and then this show comes on Disney Plus, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to watch this," they're going to be kind of confused.
I think if you're a casual fan, you don't care.
That's not true. I disagree.
If you have this emotional tie to it, you're no longer a casual fan.
That's true.
That's fair.
It's all about the emotion. All right, well, that's all I have to say about this episode.
That's it.
5 Sarlaccs out of 10.
I think it's only going to get better from here.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think it will. I mean, Jon Favreau wrote this episode.
Yes.
Robert Rodriguez directed it.
Correct.
So I have a lot of faith in the teams that we've seen so far.
Mm-hmm. Do we have a list of who directs what episode yet, or no?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Because these also don't all come out on Wednesdays, which is interesting.
What?
Huh?
Yeah, they don't always come out on Wednesdays. 2 of them come out on like a Friday.
Wait, what?
How do you know that?
Yeah, because the whole schedule came out.
What?
When?
Yeah. Like the next episode, I think is next Friday. Actually, it's the 7th. It was online.
Are you talking about the one on Games Radar?
No, I think I saw it on IG, or
IGN?
yeah. Could be wrong.
Yeah, December 29th, January 5th, January
Wait,
12th.
Wednesday?
Yeah, that's all Wednesdays.
They're all Wednesdays.
Okay, well maybe the one I saw was not correct.
It's all about fact checking, folks. Don't just.
True.
Hey, that ain't that the truth.
I
Goodness.
swear I saw one that was February 7th. I could be wrong. Maybe
The
I'm
7th episode is on February 9th. So you probably saw.
You might have got those mixed up.
Maybe.
All right. Well,
Cool.
any other final thoughts, predictions, hopes, dreams?
I think he's going to get his own gaffy stick because he's going to do something for the tribe and they're going to like him a lot. Jerica made a good point. I think the Ithorian that we see in the trailer is the mayor.
Yeah.
I think EU girl Terrace Kasi Master is going to show up. They're going to make her canon. And she's going to help Boba Fett somehow. That's about it.
What does Cheeto have to say? I hear him.
He's just going
Cheeto's
crazy in the
been
background.
talking all
chirping
night.
back there.
Yeah, he's really wants to play
I
right
don't
now.
think we're leaving Tatooine.
I don't either.
And I think a lot of this has to do with like the mirror and drama that they're gonna have with. And who are these people?
Oh yeah, the red ninjas. Like, who are they? Are they
Like-
from? Do you think they're from the mayor?
I don't know.
Maybe because he was disrespected because Boba didn't give him a gift.
Probably. I'm guessing they're from
The mayor.
the mayor. But my
Would make
predictions.
sense because he got attacked as soon as he left for the first time.
Yeah.
So
But-
it kind of would make sense.
My predictions are still that we're gonna get some sort of Thrawn reference.
Oh, I hope so.
Because of all the-
please give me
Because of all the
Thrawn.
crime syndicate stuff, like there has to be a reference to Thrawn, whether it's by name, whether it's by implication, something like that.
I hope so.
I also think we're gonna get a live action Omega, and she's gonna meet Boba.
Really?
Yeah,
That is so intense.
I think it's gonna happen because she's. I think she continued to be some sort of like smuggling, mercenary work. Maybe not like a
Refresh my
bad guy.
memory. Yeah.
What?
Did Fennec interact with Omega?
Yeah,
She
couple
did,
Yeah.
didn't
times,
she?
Oh
2
yeah.
episodes.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Huh.
I think
I didn't even think about that.
Is there anyone in the cast listing that could be her?
I don't know, but it
I
would
feel like they're
definitely
probably
be
launching the cast one episode at a time.
it would be someone in
So
their
probably
early
not.
40s, probably blonde,
Or bald.
bald.
Yeah, you
Why
just
not?
put a wig on.
Yeah.
I guess.
Smooth.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Well, this episode was smooth for me. I thought it was
Hey.
amazing. And the Starlight Pit scene, I don't think I didn't need it any longer than what we got it. I thought it was everything I wanted. I didn't even expect it. I know everyone else did and everyone wanted it, but for me, I didn't. I just wanted this Boba Fett, and I got it, and I loved everything about this episode. And the visual was amazing. The camera work was amazing, and yeah,
Basically the opposite of everything I said.
yep.
I'm
And
I'm
I'm gonna
happy.
stand
I'm
by
happy
it.
you enjoyed it, Drew. So
Yeah. I mean, I do want to watch it again. I did only see it like an hour before this, and maybe nope. It's amazing. I was gonna like try to say
he's
why.
not gonna watch it again just so he doesn't see what I have.
Yeah.
I don't need to watch it again.
You're
I
gonna watch it
know
like
that
10 times the next week.
I'm gonna literally watch it right now on my
Alright.
4K TV.
All right.
Weird flex, but okay.
I'm
Weird
trying
flex.
to encourage Jeremiah to buy a 4K. Maybe you can see the lighting better.
So Jeremiah's a 5 Starlax out of 10.
Yep.
Drew
9.
9. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
You gave it an 8 earlier.
I
You
said
dropped it.
no. I said it was a 7.5 or an 8.
I thought you said 8 or 8.5, and in the back of my mind I was like, hopefully by the end of this episode I can have that drop down to a 7 point something.
No, because I said 7 or 7. No, I said 7.5 or 8. I'll give it
Just
a
go 8.
7 point. Hold on, I'll give it a 7.75.
Thank you.
All right.
There you go.
5 is so low. I don't even think. I don't know the last thing you gave a 5 before, Jeremiah.
This is my lowest rating
Besides
since
droids.
the last Jedi.
And
Dang.
droids was pretty low.
That's not canon, so it doesn't matter.
Wow, you're full of
I'm
hot
on
takes
fire
tonight.
today.
Yeah, you are. All right. Well, you know what time it is, everyone.
Oh, I forgot we're doing this. Yeah, it's my favorite time.
It is your favorite, and it's a lot of people's favorite time because of you, Drew.
You're welcome.
Yep. So let's just bask in the glory that is the voicemail transition.
It's voicemail time.
Yes, it is. It's voicemail time. We actually had 3 submissions this week, but 2 of them were directly related to this, which was my last episode. So they were like farewell voicemail. So I'm waiting. If you sent one in, I'm waiting until next Tuesday to play those. So we actually only have one voicemail, but we still have one voicemail. And it's a good one, and it's from Coda. So let's take a listen.
Hey Empire Radio, Coda here. I have a question for you that's not Star Wars related. I was wondering, what's your favorite episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender and why? My favorite is Zuko alone because of the world building that is present in it, but I want to know what's yours. Bud Podcast, keep doing amazing work. Bye.
Wow.
Thanks, Coda.
Coda, that's a great question.
That's a
Thank you for that.
good question to make Jeremiah happy.
Yeah.
So I think one of the obvious answers is like the finale of season 3, like because it was just so intense. You got Fire Lord Ozai versus Aang. You got Azula versus Zuko. You have then Katara was fighting.
Dude, I do not remember this show enough to like
and
say
so
it,
that is like
episode.
probably a go-to. But I do remember really enjoying. I think it was just like the season 2 finale, maybe when Aang and Toph go to raid the palace. and there's just them going crazy, like earthbending. The episode where Iroh reveals his 8-pack and he's ripped. Also,
That's a good episode.
Also, when Zuko goes to Iroh and apologizes, and
yes, I was gonna say
and
when
Uncle Iroh hugs him, and we're all starts crying, bawling our eyes out. Like,
listen, one of my favorite episodes is the flashback scene for Iroh when he ends up singing
Little Soldier Boy.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite because like
Cry every time.
that freaking that hit me so hard the first time I saw it. I don't know why, but like little Andrew was bawling. I haven't seen that. I've watched Avatar all the way through twice.
Yeah, me too.
And it's been a while, so I'm having a hard time like pegging like a favorite
it's been like
episode.
10 years or something since
I will
watched
say
it all.
that the finale it made a mark on me because of just everything. It was freaking incredible. Plus Mark Hamill.
Yes.
What's more to love?
And Dave Filoni. What's more to love?
True.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I really liked the Appa missing arc. That whole arc.
Oh yes, that arc's
because
amazing.
I was so emotionally. I mean, to be fair, like there have been very few shows that I have been that emotionally invested in. Like when I reminisce on my time with Avatar, like I was so invested emotionally in that show episode
How old
by
were you
episode.
when you watched it the first time?
Oh man, I was young. But I mean the second time, like as an adult, as a married, I mean cuz like I think Micaiah and I have rewatched it since we've been married. So, I mean, it's been a few years since then, but I think it was like maybe our first year married or something like that. And I was emotionally invested in it then because they did such a good job with storytelling.
Right.
Like it's literally as an entire show from start to finish as a story, it's perfect. Like
someone in our chat literally says, "I've never watched this series, but I watched the movie and I didn't like it that much."
Okay, well,
I think
the movie is
that
literally.
who said that?
Who's
Indo 75.
Windows 75.
But
David says the movie was literally one of the worst cinematic pieces of trash I've ever seen.
Correct.
I've ever been witness to, and that's without bias. Yeah, that movie is trash, utter trash. It's up
Awful.
there with the Super Mario Bros. Movie for me, and that movie is also trash, utter trash.
So I was gonna say the episode that I remember that I liked a lot, and every single time I watch it, I'm like, oh, I really do like this episode. Is when he goes to the earthbending place, like right at the palace, and he's trying to find like what the
Boomy.
Yeah, Boomy. Yeah, that whole episode was amazing to me.
Was really good. Yeah,
the blood bending episode.
Ooh,
the crazy old lady.
That was good. That was a good one too.
Which, did you watch the other show?
I did.
Korra.
Yeah, they get a lot more into that and like metal
like the
bending
first
and
season
stuff.
is literally just all blood bending.
Yeah.
And then that show just goes downhill after that season. So.
But yeah, Avatar: Last Airbender, great show.
Yeah, please go watch it.
Go watch it. Dave Filoni, artist. Don't forget.
Yes, sir.
His beginnings.
All right.
It's not his beginnings.
Well,
King of the Hill was his beginnings.
Yes, true. But it's like
that's our second reference to that tonight.
Maybe that's why you thought of that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you thought of that. Dave Filoni was like, "Oh, I'm just handed like the beer." What if it was Dave Filoni actually in their suit and he was the one that did it?
That would be kind of funny.
That would be kind of funny, actually. Yeah.
Jeremiah would have liked it a little bit more.
Maybe like 0.01% more.
Yeah, 0.01%.
No. All right.
Thank you, Coda.
Hopefully the rest of this series is better for Jeremiah.
Hopefully.
So that Jeremiah, I don't just hate Jeremiah for the rest of this
Oh my gosh.
show.
Well, Drew, you you're gonna have to take the mantle from here.
I might have to call and
Just call me and
I
put me
might
on
have to.
speakerphone.
I might have to phone a
Right.
friend. I'm gonna have to use my landline and phone a friend.
Oh gosh.
So,
All
prepare your
right.
calls.
Well, yeah. Hopefully things pick up for Jeremiah. I'm hoping and praying for an episode. Then he's like at least a 9.
Like Ahsoka's in it.
Yeah.
Ahsoka, Omega, Thrawn, they all show up as a
They
team.
all show up in one episode. Yeah. It's just the episode literally is titled Cameo.
Or even better.
Or Jeremiah's cries.
So Thrawn, Ahsoka, and Omega show up as like a trio team, but they reference like their lord, and it's one of the people in it. It'd be like the father of Broom Kid.
So you lost me at Broom.
That's what I'm talking about.
Who was the son of the guy
who
in the
swept
Geonosis.
Django's head away. Yeah.
It's all coming together.
This deal is getting better and better all the
And
time.
if it doesn't come together, that's my next fan fiction.
Oh.
Well, start writing.
All right.
But
Well,
next week is Andrew's last episode on Tuesday.
Correct.
So we're doing the Ahsoka novel.
Yep.
And so if you want to send in your voicemails with any final goodbyes, that would be the best time. And so just a reminder, the 2 that were sent in for this episode are going to be delayed till next week just because it's more appropriate for
one of them
David
was
was
actually
kinda mad.
supposed to be for this episode. But
Too
it
late.
very much sounded like for the first few seconds that I listened to that it was like a farewell thing. So whoops. Sorry about that, David. But
and there's still gonna be Boba Fett the next day.
yeah, so there are going to be 2 Empire Radio episodes next week.
Yep.
Correct.
And then going forward, there will only be one
For a
with
little
maybe
bit.
occasionally random stuff, but we haven't planned those out
But
yet.
also, another thing is if you want to watch the episode with me, I'm going to be doing that the hour before the podcast every week. So.
Oh wait, so then we're not gonna be able to do it?
Oh, we can change
Early-
it. I said before the podcast. I didn't say what time we're doing it.
Okay, because we're kind of planning on doing it early evening, or late afternoon.
We'll have
for
to.
a live
We're gonna
stream,
let you
so-
guys know when we're gonna do the live stream for Boba Fett because it might be earlier than our normal time, but
Yeah.
it might be good for the European audience to catch a live stream. So.
Ooh, talking about UT
Exactly.
and Nicholas in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's all I have for tonight.
But
Well, we got to go over socials: Instagram, Discord. That's about it. Facebook.
Yeah, keep going, Jeremiah.
Needlesslynerdy.network.com. They're great. We're part of that.
What else? YouTube?
YouTube, MySpace, Zynga.
Nope. Not on MySpace.
Not Zynga though.
What?
Zynga?
What's
No,
Zynga?
we're not on Zynga.
Oh,
What is Zynga?
It was before MySpace. That was when I
And
was in
where
middle
can they
school.
find all that information, Jeremiah?
You can go to find a link on our Instagram, but if you want, you can type in links.something/something.
Links.co. That is 2 I's, LIINKS.co/Empire Radio. Literally everything's there. That's all you need to do.
I gotta start remembering that for.
Yes. Write it down in your new fancy book.
Andrew, I need you to do record yourself doing a clip, and we can just push
True.
it.
Yeah.
Honestly, though,
We'll see what happens.
You could do the new Katina band version of the music that we heard in this episode, like a new guitar background.
That is something that I could do.
I still love that. All right, guys.
All right, that's it.
Sweet. Well, on that note, you have been listening to another Wizard episode of the Empire Radio Podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.